Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome inside the St. Margaret's Bay Center as we get set for the U15 Nova Scotia High Button Hockey League action here between the Gulls and the Valley Wildcats as we get set for puck drop here. The Gulls coming into the game currently in second place. They sit 1 point behind. The Pictou team is coming into this game with a record sitting at 7-0-3. The 3 overtime losses would have had them, if they would have won those games, up in first place. As the Wildcats coming into this game currently sitting in sixth place. They have a 4-4-2 record. They got 15 points on the year here so far as they look to get going, as the Gulls look to leapfrog the Pictou squad and take sole possession of first place. Worked up, far side pass Canning. Connects there with Cranston. Cranston coming in 1 point behind the leader, as the leader for the Pictou team, Cohen Little, had 1 goal in this afternoon's matchup. So Cranston looking to take the lead here, or at least tie it with a point here tonight. As we are underway, the Gulls looking to establish a forecheck, as either team here yet to really get a shot and opportunity. Here's a chance. Jollymore shot there, steered away. Harvey with a nice pad save to open up and get the first stop of the game. So we get to introduce the starting goaltenders after that stop. Starting down in the pipes for the Valley Wildcats here this evening. Number 1, Jonah Harvey. 200 feet down from him, his former goaltending pair partner for the last couple years in Spring League, and as well last year, is number 31 as he stops that puck. Number 31, Landon Rogertson, as he comes into this game with a 5-0 record, undefeated on the year. He's only sitting with a 2.16 goals against average here so far, almost to Christmas break. As that puck centered past Harvey, back to the far side point. Henneberry holds the line and cycles it down low. Ferguson collects. He works it hard, D to D. Nice job to pick up that puck in the corner and work it up the wall is Carter Diebel. Diebel, actually the neighbor of the starting goaltender Rogertson down in the Valley, as Diebel lays a hit there. Turned over shot there. Trying to net that home was Cranston, sitting with 28 points on the year. He's only played 10 games. It's just under 3 points a game here so far for the rookie. Following up with behind him in the point category with 23 is Grayson Sears. Watch out for those two here this evening, as That puck battled at center, stepped up, nice big hit at center ice. Martin takes the worst of that. Stepping up there, Kennedy. Paxton Kennedy with a big hit, and that's going to pick up some momentum here for the Gulls and an offensive zone opportunity. Greenwood works it across for Kennedy, the brother of Halifax Moosehead, Quinn Kennedy. As that was a massive hit. He stepped up at center ice and laid the thunder. Here with Paxton Kennedy setting the tone here early on. 11:50 remaining in the opening period as the first almost 5 minutes has expired as a Zamboni door rattles around. Puck sent in. Paxton Kennedy gets to it. Reverse play. Levi works it up the wall. McLaughlin shot there. Pad save. Rogerson steers it into the corner. Picked off and worked back up into the neutral zone as that gets to center and dumped in there by Jack Zwicker. Zwicker, a TASA product here, playing at home ice this year for the Gulls. That's worked up to the point. Stepping in to try to hold the line was Ruse as it works its way out now. Ruse picks it up, spins away from pressure as he'll work it up off the wall to the captain Canning, who gets the C here this year for the Gulls. It's worked back into the center of the ice, almost turned over. As the Gulls looking to open the scoring here. It's still nothing to tie. Good action both ways here yet for a stoppage of play as that'll be worked over the blue line down the far side wall and into the corner. Here's a chance out front, steered away by Harvey as that was worked out of the corner. Good job there by Grayson Sears. He comes in second with 23 points on the year as it's worked back into the neutral zone and chipped in as he'll peel off for the change. Greneau around for Sears to the far side as Rogerson out there to play it. He works it across here for Cannon. Over the line, Cannon trying to drive it down, drops his shoulder, can't do so. Good job defensively to hold him to the outside as that was Bentley McKay for the Wildcats. Shot there high off the glass and in behind as the puck still bobbling around. Picked up Sears down low on his backhand. He'll spin away onto his forehand, centering pass. McKay keeping it out of harm's way. Worked up the wall, nice little touch pass, good back check. Ferguson collects it and worked it back into the neutral zone. Ferguson over the line, works it up and in. To his backhand drives. Ferguson shot there, steered away by the blocker hand of Rogerson as McKay trying to work it D to D and out into the neutral zone. Fowler working it up the wall, close to the middle here now. His Rolls picks it up and knocked off the puck there by the big number 18. That's Simon Pelham, as that gets cleared to center and Fowler dumps it right back in. Rogerson leaves it in behind the net for his defenseman and goes off a skate, cleared to center. Shot there, goes back and behind, sent wide. Down low, Rolls. Here's a chance, big save, Rogerson. His strap on his helmet came loose on that shot up near his ear as McLaughlin trying to work it back down. As the Wildcats now with some pressure, still awaiting a whistle here as the opening 6 or so minutes has expired. Cycling down low, McLaughlin can't get to it, worked up the wall, not out. Half wall, battled down low, as now it'll be cleared up. That gets back to the point. Fowler works it D to D, walking in, shot there, sent high. As that rattles off the stick. Back it around. Here, Douglas with a nice move. Here's a chance. Douglas forehand shot off the blocker of Harvey. And back all the way down. No icing, says the official. As he thought Greenwood could have made a play on it. Centering pass, that finds the stick of Sears. He'll cut to the middle, drop pass in behind him with a chance. He gets hooked down, delayed call coming up. And a power play here on the first stoppage of play. Here in the opening period will be a power play, and the Gulls are going to head up on the man advantage. As it looks like didn't get a number. It looks like it'll be number 20 for the Valley Wildcats as the Gulls look to take advantage of the man advantage. Ruse works to the far side. Canning walks it in. Shot off, and that's blocked. That's a good job to get in the lane there was Greeno. Cranston off the half wall to the middle. Cranston shot, scores! Bowen Cranston capitalizes on the power play opportunity, and he makes it 1-0 for the Gulls here 7:53 remaining in the opening period. Bowen Cranston ties up the league leader for points here with a first period goal. Bowen Cranston coming into the game, 28 points on the year, make it 29 now as he adds a power play goal to his tally, as he is now tied up here for the league lead in points. Close to the Christmas break, Ruse gets center, dumps it down in behind the net. It's worked up off the glass, up to center, and that's Ruse stepping up to chip it back as Zwicker tried to get it back in deep. Work D to D, nice little reverse McKay. On the hinge pass, works it up Greneau through the neutral zone over the blue line down the far, and it's picked off there by Levy. Works it up here through the neutral zone. Calvert, he'll give chase. He dumping Chase, gets to it first and behind the Wildcats net, and he'll cycle down low. Zwicker in there to help out Calvert. He's pinned up against the wall. McKay, good job defensively there to take Zwicker out of the play. Calvert in there trying to pick the puck loose, worked back to the point and held in. D to D, Greenwood just holds on line, shot there, sent wide, blocker side. Kennedy walks to the middle, loses handle as here's a chance. McLaughlin back the other way, has numbers, and great defensive play there by Greenwood as he'll leave it over on the far side for Paxton. Kennedy, who set the tone with a big hit in the opening couple minutes of the game, is that's worked up into the neutral zone. Greenwood gets center, dumps it in, and he'll peel off for a change. Worked up for Rolls. Ruse steps up, gets knocked off the puck and worked back. Here's a 2-on-2, cutting to the middle. Ferguson over top, shot there, sent high past the glove of Rogerson. Battled down low, Rolls, turns the puck over and works it back for Fowler at the point. He'll work it D to D. Shot there, sent right into the glove and calmly held on to for a whistle by the starting goaltender here this evening. The undefeated Landon Rogerson getting the start for the Gulls here this evening's game 7. .11 the local time here. Thanks for tuning into High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers. Shaky camera here. We'll try to get that all sorted out for you. But in the meantime, Gulls lead by 1 here. The opening period, still just over 5 minutes remaining as it's worked back into the neutral zone. My apologies once again for the shaky camera. Try to get that settled in the intermission as that'll be sent in. Calvert gets to it first. He'll try to cycle down low. And behind centering pass, good stick by Ferguson to keep it out of harm's way. Far side shot there, blocked by Ferguson and chipped out as that shot tried to get in there. As out to play it, Rogerson clears out of harm's way. Up to the stick of Charlie McKinnon, who played it cross ice. Calvert down on the forecheck trying to turn it over. Great job there by Calvert as it's worked back to the neutral zone. Left ahead, here's a chance. Rude can't get to it as it's into the corner. Rude trying to establish a offensive zone time here now. Rude trying to work it to the front, work back to the point. Shot there from distance, tipped on, and a big pad save there by Rogerson. Saw it last second and dropped down to his butterfly to keep it out. As mentioned, Rogerson coming into the game with a 2.16 goals against average here so far for the Christmas bacon in his toe and held on to for the whistle. Puck work back, McKay down the wall and back into the neutral zone. Here come the Gulls. It's falling the line and back the other way. Here's a chance shot there and a big save by Harvey to hold the whistle. As that puck bouncing around, he found it in his chest protector and holds on for a stoppage of play. Face off. Over to the blocker side. Here, one back by Cranston. Knoll shot there. Steered away. Good stick save there by the goaltender. Here's Cranston with a tight area chance. Coming into this game, the goaltender, Jonah Harvey, has a 1 goal against average. He's in between the legs. Sears trying to sneak it upstairs in tight. Sears with a nifty play. Him and Cranston feeding off each other here early. Work back to the point. Hughes holds a line. Works it back down far side. Nice job defensively by Greeno. Greeno shot there from Cranston as Greeno pressures that puck. Trying to work it D to D. Turned over. Here's a chance out in front. Cranston, big save by Harvey. Rimmed around. Noel holds the line. Far side, cycling it back down low. Picked off, and Noel gets it back at the point. He'll try to work it down low. Puck bottling around as the captain will come out with it for the Valley. Greeno gets to the blue line, dumps it in. He'll peel off for a change near the end of his shift. Good job in there on the forecheck was Rowan Longren. So now he heads off for a change up near the top of your screen as the Wildcats now looking to get some offensive zone time. Picked up on the dump-in chance. Here's a chance. Zwicker down the far side with some speed. Jack Zwicker, shot there, save. Great job. Shut the door down there was Jonah Harvey as that'll be Ferguson with some speed. 3-on-2 Ferguson. Dumps it in. Rolls will give chase. Greenwood to it first behind his own net. Picks it up and wheels up through the middle of the ice. Greenwood poked here for Calvert. Cross center. 3-on-2. Centering pass. Greenwood poked off of his stick, and Ferguson takes it back into the neutral zone where he loses control up near center ice and sent back here. Zwicker trying to work it across the blue line. Rolls on a great back check. Will turn it over as the Wildcats looking to set things up, chipping it into the neutral zone and turning it over and working it right back down. Greenwood, he turns off for a change. Diebel picks it up behind his own net and looks to set up the breakout. Diebel onto the stick of Ferguson to the middle, and off his stick. Rolls, collects it and chips it up ahead. Henneberry will leave it there for Paxton Kennedy, who works it up. Here's Douglas, one-on-one, waiting for some support. Shot there, goes across the crease and over to the far side. That might have been a little bit high as it's worked back down. Jollymore into the corner. Jollymore gets some pressure on his hips, spinning away as the fans there giving some encouragement on the board. Work back. Kennedy shot there, held on to for a whistle. Paxton Kennedy, the nice point shot there, and great job there by the man holding on to the puck for another whistle. Jonah Harvey coming into the game, 1 goal against average here. He's got a 3-1 record so far. So far this year, the Wildcats 4-2. They have 15 points. They currently sit 6th. Goaltending, obviously a good backstop for them in Jonah Harvey. As Rogerson used to play for the Valley, imagine having him and Harvey as your tandem. As that puck cleared through center and stepping up. Good job to step up there was Bartow Kelly. As it gets sent down, the Gulls look to get back in here on the forecheck and establish some time down in the offensive zone once again. McKay, good defensive play there, works it up the wall as it'll be chipped up, trying to work it out. Martin, he took a big hit by Paxton Kennedy in the opening 5 minutes. Hughes almost got caught with his head down. Zwicker picks it up, works it in. Zwicker knocked off of his stick by Bartow Kelly as we're inside a minute here remaining in the opening frame. Puck chipped up off the skate of Zwicker. No one jumped over. And now a delayed call. No one had jumped over yet. And a delayed call will stop play here with 51 seconds. But no one jumped over the boards. There was never too many men on the ice. So we'll see if that call gets erased. My apologies for the shaky camera here, folks. I'm really trying my best to try to fix it. I don't know what's going on. So with 51 seconds left, the whistle went for too many men, but no call on the play. So it will remain 5-on-5 here, 51 seconds remaining. Sent in. D to D there is played by Harvey as it gets cycled down low. Work back into the neutral zone. Up the wall here, battled for and chipped up ahead, too far to the reach of Cannon. And sent back up the far side. Ferguson, centering pass, doesn't connect. Greenwood picks it off, works it for Cranston. Will take his time with it. Got to be careful there. Ferguson almost picked it off and had an opportunity here inside. Last half a minute remaining now in the opening period. 10 seconds now on the clock. Last couple seconds of pressure here in the opening frame. Puck worked up and behind the net, and that'll take the time away here in the opening period. So after one period of play, the Gulls won. The Valley Wildcats still no score. We'll be back for a second period of action after this short intermission. Welcome back for a second period of action. The camera hopefully will cooperate with me here a little better. No, it won't. So we'll try to get things situated up here. But for now, a shaky camera. I'm sorry, folks, here. So here's a chance for the Gulls. Wicker can't get the shot away. Clear back into the neutral zone. And all the way down for an icing call. 14:22 remaining in the second period. The first stoppage of play of the second period will be an icing call. So a better first stoppage for the Wildcats as it was going to be a first stoppage of the opening period was a power play for the Gulls, who capitalized to make it 1-0. Off a goal by Bowden Cranston, who now is tied for the point lead in the league here. Worked out into the neutral zone, D-to-D. Shaky camera all fixed here. Thanks for sticking with me. A little bit of frustration here to start the game as it's worked up by the Gulls. Centering, Ruse can't connect. Cleanly, it goes down low. Jollymore in there on the pressure. Turns it over, works to the middle. Pelham, shot goes wide. Picked up, Noel, shot there, blocked, but got through enough to get steered away by Harvey. Noel at the point, walks, shots tipped wide by Jollymore. Far side, battle over in the far wall. Jollymore trying to come up with it. Battling with Ferguson in behind the net. Worked back, Ruse trying to let a one-timer go, couldn't get it all away. As here's a chance, trying to work it, here's a shot. Is trying to work it from the corner was Pelham. He'll peel off for a change now. Douglas works it up. Shot blocked into the corner. Cannon to it first. In there with Sears out there on the forecheck. Ferguson picks it up and works into the neutral zone. Here's some speed. Ferguson 2-on-1 has Gallant with them. Shot, pad save, kicked away, and Cranston collects the rebound. Rolls, pressures Cranston, who chips it into the neutral zone and sent back all the way down on the net of Rogerson, who plays it there for his D-man. Cranston now receives the pass, chips it up the wall, takes the hit, sent right back down. Going to be a delayed icing, but it's on Rogers, so it'll take away that icing call, and Greenwood will battle, works it around for Noel into the short side corner. Working it up here, Sears chipping it off the glass. That'll be a chance. Here's Cannon with some speed, gets a step, trying to get to it around McKay, gets to it first, collects and stops up. Far side, Kennedy, move around one, Can't get around the second. That's Paxton Kennedy shot on him. That was a shot there from Cannon as Kennedy had to work it to him. He got into a little bit of trouble. Cranston on a reverse play. Greenwood walks in, shot high off the stanchion, took a little bit of a weird bounce, and Cranston gets to it. Turns it over McKay. Chipping it into the neutral zone. Greenwood, good hand-eye there to knock it a bouncing puck down and work it back here for Cannon. Finds Sears. Sears trying to make a move at the blue line, but lost possession as it's worked back here for Kennedy in the neutral zone. Paxton Kennedy, brother of Halifax Moosehead Quinn Kennedy, spent the last couple years there. Also spending a couple years in Rimouski for the Oceanic, is quite a player here. He set the tone with a massive hit in the opening period, just under 5 minutes into the first, laying the thunder and setting the tone here for this game, saying it's not going to be an easy one as the Gulls continuing with the offensive zone pressure here. Puck worked up. McKinnon knocks it down and sends it back in behind. Battled in the corner and worked up through the middle, held at the line just outside. Henneberry trying to hold it in, but poked out just over the line. Good read there. Douglas had it bounce over under his stick, and that's sent down. Good job to get it out of their zone. The Wildcats were under some pressure now as McKinnon trying to chip it out, turns it over. Martin picks it up and works it down low. Martin centering pass, shot on, sent wide. Good job there to get an opportunity was Rowan Longing. Longing in behind the net, turns it over as it worked out in front. Here's a chance. Rogerson sticked it away, but that'll be shot on by Longrain around to the far side, chipped out. Won't have enough for icing, and a good weight there, doesn't have enough. Fowler to it first in his own zone. Fowler, stretch pass up here as McLaughlin sends it in. Levy to it first. Hughes almost turns it over in front, but Zwicker was there. Good support by Jack Zwicker. As here's a chance, 3-on-2, going to cut to the middle, lose it in his feet, and it's turned over. Wildcats looking to get back the other way. McLaughlin can't get around Hughes, who dumps it right back in and gives Fowler a little whack, and a delayed call coming up here. McLaughlin's going to go. And McLaughlin looks like he's going to take a slashing penalty as Hughes, I believe, will go as well. So 5-on-5 it will remain here. 9:49 remaining in the second period. Still a 1-0 lead for the second place Gulls on a power play goal by Bowen Cranston. Ties the league leader here this evening and will probably look to take the lead as well here at home as they face off against the Valley Wildcats. Thanks for tuning in live on High Button Sports here for this Saturday night matchup in the U15 Nova Scotia Hockey League. Ferguson in behind him. Kennedy picks it up at center, trying to send it right back in and sent right back into the neutral zone. Having to go back. Jollymore with a nice play at his own blue line to work it up. Pelham kicking it wide. Worked in over the line. Douglas centering pass. Connects there. Pelham cycling it back down low. Taking a tumble was Jollymore in the corner. He's pressured by Greneau as it's worked up the wall. Rolls, centers, out of the reach of everyone. It goes all the way down. Is going to have enough for icing. No icing, says the official. They'll play on. Greenwood to it first. He'll reverse. A nice little play there by Greenwood on the reverse. Kennedy stops up, uses his net for coverage, and works it up to the wall. Far side, Jollymore cuts to the middle, chips it away. Nice play there by Jollymore on the second effort. Pelham works it in, shot there, and a big pad save. Great job, Jonah Harvey, shutting the door once again. Through the neutral zone, the captain, Greneau, will drop it down wide into the corner. Greneau stops up, overskates the puck on the stop-up. Sears losing his footing. He'll leave it there. Cranston over the blue line now. Bowen Cranston dishing it off, doesn't connect, and chipped back into the center ice by Ferguson. Here's a chance. Rude with some speed down the far side. One-on-one. Henneberry trying to keep him to the outside as Rude let a shot go. Bartow Kelly holds the line, and a hard rim to the far side. Canning trying to work it out. He's pinched off, and it's going to be reversed back down. Noel working it in around D to D here as it's worked up for Sears. The Gulls look to break out off the stick of McKay, but not enough. Canning works it up. He'll center him for Cranston, who lets a shot go. Rebound still there. Canning can't bury it home. Rude. Great defensive play there to take that away. Henneberry stepping up and working it back down the wall. Canning trying to cycle, but fans on it, and McKay around Cranston picks it off, centering, intended for Canning. Good job by Bartow Kelly to intercept the pass, and he'll collect it and work it back into the neutral zone. Bartow Kelly gets center, dumps it in, and stops up for a change. Two new defensemen out now for the Wildcats here. Henneberry stops up, works to the far side off the stick, and chipped around the man. Nice little smart play there. Just kind of chip it and use his speed. It's worked up the wall, pinched off on the far side. A couple big hits there as it's worked back. Here's Gallant. Great job by Greenwood to back check, lay the body, and Glant's only option was to just dump it into the corner. As Gallant heads up right off the bench, trying to connect there. Right off the bench was number 8, Hunter Martin, who was looking for some revenge after taking a big hit. Gallant with a feed to him, a shot saved by Rogerson. Battled around, Rogerson still down and out, but keeps it out as it's worked back. Here's a chance, McKinnon on a breakaway. McKinnon forehand, backhand shot there, and a great back check. As my apologies, I said backhand, I meant a back check. And a great back check by Fowler, and McKinnon couldn't get the shot away as they wanted to. Dufour works it D to D. Kennedy shot, looking for a stick maybe, as it didn't leave too high off the ice as he works it back down. Levy to the point, shot there. McKinnon looking for what he had a great opportunity moments ago. As it's worked back, Kennedy walks to the middle, lets one go, and steered away by Jonah Harvey as Martin had a chance one way, and McKinnon with a breakaway back the other way, and some back and forth action here. Still 1-0 a lead for the Gulls. Kennedy, nice move at the point, dishes it off. Henneberry walks in, fakes a shot. Now he'll let one go in front there, and can't tuck it up over the pad was Levy. Kennedy in the neutral zone, works it up. Zwicker gets a stick on it, chips it in. First to it though, Diebel rims it around far side. Calvert picks it off on the half wall, cycling it back down in behind the net of Harvey. To it first, Zwicker collects, cuts over in between the circles. Can't get a shot away as it goes off of his stick. And worked up here, the Wildcats come, trying to take away some offensive zone pressure for the Gulls. Kennedy, far pass, trying to connect with Calvert, goes off a body all the way down, right on net, and holding on to it for a whistle is Jonah Harvey. He'll freeze play here, and a stoppage of play with 10:26 remaining on the clock. As I don't think that's the correct time. I think the clock's frozen. 5:27 I'm getting here on the clock. So we'll have to see. So now the clock's starting. As it's worked back into the zone. Nice little delay there to try to take away some time. Stretch pass off the stick of Ferguson. Getting a stick on it to take away the icing. Ferguson near the far blue line. Worked up here for Sears. 10:05 remaining on the clock, so not quite sure what happened there. Maybe they didn't start the clock for the last 5 minutes or so, and a delayed call coming up. Waiting to see Rogerson, and waiting to see if his team touches it first. Canning trying to poke it loose, and that'll stop play as touching that puck in behind in the corner, Charlie McLowan. We'll wait to see who heads off. Rogerson had headed to the bench. So with 9:50 remaining here, just got some information. So 15 minutes for the first, and then 2:20s. So that'll leave 9:50 remaining on the board here in the second period. As a power play for the Gulls, they capitalized on the first one. Broden Cranston, his league leading point on the year, as it's worked back down. Here's Cranston over top, works at Canning, works it in back door in behind. Sears looking to sneak one in back door as he battles for it in the end wall with McKay. Douglas in there to help out. Pinned against the wall, cycled back up. Here's Cranston, far side. Cross ice pass into the feet. Canning trying to settle it down, still into his feet. Good job to support him was Douglas. As it's worked back, Hughes to Canning, or Cranston, far side. Cranston works it here. Canning's Nice little play to the bumper. As a shot there from Douglas goes up and out of play. That'll stop play here with 9:02 remaining in the second period of action. 1-0 lead on a power play goal by Bowen Cranston. So Cranston opening the scoring, putting him in the tie for the top point getter, as he's got 29 points on the year, 16 goals and 13 assists here so far, not even to the Christmas break, just under 3 points a game. Cranston shot glove save calmly by Harvey. 56 seconds remaining on the power play here for the Gulls. 8:46 remaining on the second period clock. Offensive zone draw once again for the Gulls. Cannon's gonna skate in, take a hit, puck into the feet, kicked over. Cranston will collect and settle things down. Bowen Cranston looking to the bumper for Douglas, kicking it wide. Canning back for reuse. Nice puck movement here by the Gulls on the power play. Cranston cross ice, Canning, bumper under the stick though of Douglas, and Ferguson will collect it up and work it into the neutral zone. Ferguson poked off his stick by reuse. Douglas works it back right away into the zone. Punked off the puck there, bouncing off a couple skates, and that'll be cleared out, says the official, on a delayed offside. Will allow Ferguson to collect the puck, take his time. He'll let a slap shot go, and Rogerson steers it away for Kennedy, who picks it up. Couple Mohawks there to get his feet moving up ice. Kennedy through the neutral zone. He'll cross corner dump over to the far side where Fowler gets it. He'll cycle it up the walls. Wicker picks it off though. He'll spin away from pressure. Jack Zwicker stopping up. He'll walk it in. Shot there. Blocker saved by Harvey. Another shot into the feet of Harvey. Rebound sitting there. Still loose. They'll battle for it. And a little bit of pushing and shoving as Pelham was in there trying to find the loose puck, but that'll be jumped on the rebound by Jonah Harvey to find the rebound. Great job there. As mentioned a few times, Jonah Harvey coming into this game with a 1 goal against average so far here this year. 3-1 record, so the Gulls have scored 1. If he can hold the door, he's got to get the offense going for the Wildcats. Here in the second period, they've yet to have a power play. Here, the Gulls with 2, capitalizing on 1, and a good penalty kill moments ago by the Valley Wildcats. This is 5-on-5 action now. As Zwicker down low, centering pass to the point. Shot there, glove save by Harvey. So more whistles here in the second period as the first period up and down the sheet, and the chances coming for both teams. But the Gulls starting to take over the game here a little bit in the second period, playing a lot of time down to the left of me at center ice. And Harvey been up for the task here. Be interesting to see what the shots are so far through a period and a half or so, as it's worked back into the neutral zone now. Here's Rude, poked off of his stick. Henneberry couldn't get to it. Rogerson pokes it away. Smart play by Rogerson, but lost his stick on the play as that gets cleared back and dumped in. Rogerson kicks that puck wide as he's still got no stick. He's got to go retrieve it. The ref will kick it a little closer to him and give him a hand as Rogerson gets his stick back now, and the Gulls work it up over the blue line. Rimming it to the far side. Calvert trying to get to it first. Can't do so. His nice play here. Down low, McKinnon. Shot there. Rebound in front. Rude collects it and calmly works it up the far side. Ferguson in the neutral zone. Over the blue line. Ferguson. Shot there. Sent wide off the shin pad of Knoll. Calvert will pressure Ferguson on the far side for Knoll. On the reverse for Calvert. Up the wall. Chipping it up as it's worked back in through the neutral zone. Magnus Nordin works it over the line, trying to center as McKinnon was driving. Can't do so, and now Greeno stopping up, using his net as coverage, and works it for McKay. McKay finds Ferguson, cross ice pass, and works it up to center. Ferguson right onto the tape. Rude trying to work his way through. That's Rolls, my apologies, as Rolls gets taken out. Stretch pass, good job by Greeno to take that away, as Sears was up at the far blue line looking for the puck. Puck worked back. Here's Gallant bouncing puck and worked back. Reuse in his own zone. Now works to the far side. Cannon lost it in his skates and kicks it in. Diebel works it around on a rim here for Gallant to the short side. Stepping in, Rius gives a bump, but it's worked past him, and Martin to the neutral zone, turns it over. Here's a chance back the other way, Cranston. He'll work it around, Cranston, shot, scores! A highlight reel goal, Bowen Cranston taking the lead of the point lead here in the U15 Nova Scotia Hockey League on a highlight reel goal by the rookie Bowden Cranston, and a 2-0 lead now for the Gulls at home here in the Saturday night matchup. What a goal, Bowen Cranston putting it around the defenseman and sniping it past the blocker of Jonah Harvey, and he has 2 tonight, and he takes sole possession of the point lead here in the Nova Scotia U15 Hockey League, as the rookie with a sensational goal is now on hat-trick watch here this evening with 2 goals so far here in the game. 1 power play goal in the first, and now a highlight reel goal by Bowen Cranston, making it 2-0 Gulls lead. Here is Canning chipping it in on his backhand. Sears going to give chase, trying to turn the puck over, but Grineau works it up the far side wall. As it's worked back, here's Longren chipping it up ahead for his captain, getting it back on a nice give and go. Longren chipping it in, but turned over. Greenwood collects, and a hard rim there, takes a bump to make the play. Finds his captain, Canning. Can't get it out though. Cranston trying to battle on the far blue line, just works it out, but sent right back in. The Wildcats looking to establish a forecheck now here. Kennedy in behind his own net. Almost turned over, but reversed. Greenwood picks it up with speed now. Greenwood will work it up into the neutral zone. Has some numbers as he'll chip it in, take a bump, but that'll be a delayed call. Sears reverse play, and that'll stop up as the Wildcats touch it, and an interference call coming up here as the Gulls are going to head back to the power play. Interference will be the call. We'll wait to see on the number. Maybe Robichaud's going to go. I think they got the wrong guy on the play, but Robichaud's going to take the fall for it. So Austin Robichaud, the forward, is going to take the fall for, I think, what should have been Charlie McLowan's penalty. So with 4:27 remaining on the clock, the Gulls will head to the power play up by 2. Here in the second period is Kennedy. Picks it up and works it through the neutral zone. Paxton Kennedy over the blue line, stopping up inside the red net line, works it for Zwicker. Now Noel walking in. Noel looking for the bumper in front, can't connect cleanly as Calvert sends it wide. Grineau, hard rim, can't hold it, was Zwicker on the far wall, and he'll take it and collect his speed in his own zone. Zwicker, nice move around one, can't get around the second one. Good job there by Bartow Kelly stepping up to make a play. He'll work it in, but Paxton Kennedy taking the puck away from him as he sets up the breakout. He'll dish that off. Noel through the neutral zone over the blue line, kicking it wide. Calvert down into the corner. Calvert pressured, takes a little bit of a bump there, loses control of the puck. McKay, hard rim to the far side. Zwicker cycling it on his backhand for Sears, who loses it, and that'll be cleared all the way down. Good job there by number 17, Caleb Howard. Howard, the cousin, actually, of Gulls goaltender Landon Rogerson, and neighbor Carter Diebel is Rogerson's neighbor back in the Valley. So some connections here, going to school with all these guys. Just talking with Rogerson's dad. He's having a great year so far, as Cranston now talk about great year, as he's got the leading point here so far in the U15 Nova Scotia High Button Major League here so far in the year. He's got a great numbers, 17 goals, 2 here tonight with 13 assists to add on to that, and Bowen Cranston has now 30 points on the year, and this is the 11th game of the season. Power play here for another 25 seconds with 2:52 remaining on the second period clock. Trying to clear. Cranston slows things down. Ringette line, Cranston for reuse at the top point, working it back down for Cranston. Douglas getting covered now up at the bumper as the Wildcats looking to adjust back down low. Cranston on the far corner, loses it into his feet. Now he's pressured. Cranston coming up with it, looking for Canning, who's going to sneak in. Backdoor pass shot there, blocked. Good job there to get a block on that puck. Clear it back to the point. Reuse takes a bump, making the play there. working it back down low. It was back to 5-on-5. Sears collects it in the corner, works it back up high, trying to center for Douglas, doesn't connect. As Douglas shot off the corner rebound, and Sears coming up with it once again. Sears working it off the bench for Jollymore down low, leaves it for Douglas. Douglas losing it into his feet, poked off of his stick. Douglas trying to get it back. In there to help him was Charlie McKinnon, who had a breakaway opportunity but couldn't beat the blocker of Harvey as that puck to the point but not out. Good job poking it back in was the stick of number 4, Evan Sargent Greenwood. Far side battle, great forecheck there by Norden as that puck now worked in on net and held on to there for a much needed whistle for the Wildcats. They'll change up all utilities, all 5 guys going to the bench on that extended shift by the Gulls, but nothing on the power play for them, so another kill here for the Wildcats as they were unable to kill off the first one, but they've been great for the last 3 here now as they yet to have the man advantage so far in this game, as the Gulls have now had 3 or 4 as Kennedy at the point walks middle, dishing it back to the side. McKinnon trying to center for Hughes over to the far wall. Now he'll get pinched off right in front of the Edible Matters sign as it's chipped back and trying to dump it back in, but goes off a couple bodies, and now Kennedy takes a bump there. Ferguson delivering the thunder right back to Kennedy, who had set the tone. So Ferguson getting a bite out of Kennedy there in the neutral zone, and we're inside a minute remaining in the second period of action. 2-0 lead for the Gulls here at home. Kennedy steps up. It's worked past him in the air. And back Calvert covering for his D-man right up the wall. A nice play there, settling things down in the neutral zone. Kennedy works it up. Zwicker will dump it in and give chase. Zruz down low. Can't connect on the centering pass. And that'll be centered. Hughes down the corner all the way back. Trying to get to his point now as it's spun on there. Trying to get away of pressure is Ferguson. Pressures Calvert. Levy to the point, shot there into the chest. Rebound, kicked out. And great job here. 15 seconds remaining for the Wildcats here to try to get something going back up ice. It's turned over at center. Kennedy chips it back in. And up the wall now. McGuire trying to work it up ahead. Here's a 2-on-2. Good job holding the feet back was Rolls here. And that'll do it for the second period as time clicks off and expires here in the second period. So after 2 periods of play, the Gulls lead 2-0 on 2 goals coming off the stick of the rookie Bowen Cranston. He now takes sole possession of the point lead here in the U15 Nova Scotia Hockey League. Thanks for tuning in for the opening 2. We'll be back for third period of action live on High Button Sports after this short intermission. Good evening, folks, and welcome back here on High Button Sports for the third period of action between the Gulls and the Wildcats as we get set for the third period of action. Gulls coming into the third period leading 2-0 with 2 goals from Bowen Cranston, who now has sole possession of the point lead here in the U15 Nova Scotia High Button Hockey League as we get set here. Third period of action coming at you momentarily just before 8 o'clock the local time. I'd like to welcome you inside the St. Margaret's Bay Center here. The Fountain Rink, the one of 2 rinks, the NHL size surface. The other one, the more bigger Olympic size ice on the other side of us. As here's a chance off the opening draw, sent wide off the stick of Cannon. Sears collects the rebound, cycles it back down. Cannon, Cranston finds past him and a big stop there. I believe that hit the defenseman as Longrain actually getting moved from forward to D, making the nice defensive play there as he gets the puck at center, trying to chip it around Rios and can't get it now. He'll work it down low, trying to make a puck to the cut to the middle. He'll turn that puck over, stretch pass up off the backhand of Cannon and down in. McKay will give pressure. Cannon to it first. In behind the Wildcats net. Cannon spins away from pressure, waiting for his team to hop off the bench. Duford will just dump it to the far side. Sears to it first, spinning. Sears out front, poked away by Ferguson. Ferguson will pick the puck up far side, poked off his stick. Great back check there was Levy. As it'll be picked up, Henneberry looking for an option. We'll work it here for Duford. Waiting for his options and worked up into the neutral zone. Martin chipped it back, but Levy picks it up, looking back door out of the reach just barely. Jack Zwicker getting to it first, though, spinning off a check there from Ferguson and working it back to the point. Henneberry will walk it in, let a shot go, blocked off the skate. Rolls will collect and head man up for Ferguson into the neutral zone. Ferguson cuts to the middle at the blue line, leaving it there, goes off a couple skates. Collecting it is Zwicker. Nice little chip there for Levy, working it up, Calvert, and over the blue line. Calvert 3-on-2, drop back, Levy shot there, and a glove save by Harvey for a whistle. Harvey already giving up more goals in this game than he averages, so you'll look for him to shut the door here in the third period, and his team trying to get on the board, trying to solve the puzzle that is the undefeated Landon Rogerson here in this Saturday night game as the Gulls trying to move up to first place. They sit 1 point behind. And a shot there and a no goal. Waved off right away. We'll wait to see. No goal. Puck in the feet and now they score. As the puck was in the feet of Harvey. Waved off for no goal. Play continued. We'll wait to see who gets it. Looks like Charlie McKinnon's going to go first, and he might have scored that as the shot came from the point. Waved off immediately, but no whistle it went. And then sitting in the feet, the goaltender moved. The puck came free, and the Gulls now lead by 3. Harvey not too happy with that. The puck went off the crossbar. I'll have to take a quick look here. Well, I try to see what happened. The puck goes off the crossbar, waved off immediately. Morgan Noss, the longtime Acadia Axemen defenseman, is going to have a quick chat with the official on the far side. But waved off right away, then the goaltender Harvey moved, and the puck came free in his feet. And a little bit of a doozy there. The whistle never went. And the faceoff's going to come back here to center. 3 on the board now for the Gulls. As back here up at center ice. Action will resume. So a 3-0 lead here with 17:59 remaining on the third period clock. As I'll try to get a replay up on my phone for the most recent very awkward goal. Haven't seen something like that. An offside call there will stop play once again. And the faceoff's going to come back just outside the line. Front of the Gulls bench, it looks like it's going to be. And a 3-0 lead here on the wackiest goal I've seen so far. Try to get a little bit of a replay here up on my phone in between the whistles. As that'll be worked in. Jollymore cycles it down low. Greneau trying to get to it first. Pelham will pressure him. He'll have to stop up, and another nice move there. Greneau avoiding pressure, works it up the far side. You can't really see it on the replay, but you see the official waving it off immediately. But the puck was never whistled down, and then Harvey moved his feet. The puck was in his feet, and then he just started to move. No call on that play as the stick right into the feet. And Greneau draw a call there. We'll wait to see the official call, but it looks like Greneau's going to go. We'll wait to see. Or Jollymore looks like he's going to go. So Jollymore's going to head to the box here on a, we'll wait to see the official call from the, it'll be an unsportsmanlike call here. Jollymore's going to go to the box. And the first power play for the Wildcats, trailing by 3, look to get back into this game here inside the St. Margaret's Bay Center. Played a lot of hockey here growing up as well. I played my major Bantam career here, I guess now the U15 Hockey League in Nova Scotia. We'll wait to see what happens. The ref having a quick chat over there with the head coach for the Gulls to see what the exact call was, because the stick got thrown away from Jollymore on the play. I'm going to take a quick look here at the replay if Wi-Fi's going to cooperate with me here. So a power play for the Wildcats here with just under 17 minutes remaining in the third period. Worked ahead. That's worked down. Good job to kick it in. It was Nordine. So back off here and receive the dump in as that goes all the way around on a hard rim there. Valley looking to set things up. Good pressure here so far from the Gulls, not allowing them to get set up here. Worked around. Henneberry gets pressured from McLaughlin. Back for McKay. McKay works it back for Martin, who will walk it in. Let a shot go, and that's blocked. Great job to sacrifice the body was Levy, as it'll be Henneberry collecting the puck and dumping it out through the middle of the ice 200 feet down, as Harvey will come out and leave it there for his defenseman. McKay centers the pass too far out of the reach of Howard. Kennedy collects it and dumps it all the way back down once again. The Gulls doing a great job here, killing off the opening minute of the power play, the first power play for the Valley Wildcats here in this road game for them. They come into the game currently sitting 6th place. They look to battle their way up, and here's Ferguson, who was going to try to add on to that, as Rolls in there and behind the net. He gets taken down, no call, and that gets sent out as playing continues. Rolls not happy on the way back. A couple words for the official on his way back through the middle of the ice, as that'll be collected and worked up. Here's McLaughlin, McLowan, who is going to spin back and set things up once again. Working it, rolls off the skate, close to the official, back into the neutral zone. Rude's going to pressure Calvert, who fans on the puck, rolls up at the blue line, trying to work it back down low. Great job here by the Gulls pressuring, and that's cleared down all the way by Greenwood. Delayed high stick call, and that'll be stopped up there on a high sticking call. Charge to the Valley Wildcats, 15 minutes exactly remaining, and back to 5-on-5 action now here. So Charlie McKinnon making it 3-0 on one of the weirdest goals I've seen in a while. A shot from the point, hit the crossbar, waved off immediately by the official, but the whistle never went. The puck was in the feet of Harvey. He had no idea where it was. He moved and came loose, and poking it home was Charlie McKinnon for his first goal of the game. Puck work back here. Noel spinning away from some pressure, working it up the wall. Can't trip it out. Sears will turn it over right onto the stick of What a weird shot there. That goes off the inside of the blocker, as letting that puck go was... Wow, and here's a chance. Noel can't bury it home, as Noel jumping up in the play from the point position. Sears gets to it first on the half wall. Sears with some speed over top. He'll walk it down. Shot there past the glove high. Cranston picking up off the rebound off the end glass. To the middle of the ice, back down low. Here's Cannon in tight. In the feet, still trying to find it was Harvey. Couldn't find the puck, but it was lost in underneath of him, and that'll stop play here for a whistle on a nice in tight chance there by the captain in Miller Cannon. Here in the third period, the Gulls still lead 3-0 on a Charlie McKinnon goal, 2 coming off the stick of Bowen Cranston as well. As play continues down in the corner, Zwicker in there battling Howard. Waits for the puck, he'll get it and work it up into the neutral zone. Trying to connect there with McLaughlin, who now gets it and sends it in. All the way in behind, Ruse will get back to it. Work it up for Zwicker, who drops it back for Ruse, who works it through the neutral zone. Nice little play there as it's jumped in by the most recent goal scorer, Charlie McKinnon, who will give chase, give a nice little bump there for the forecheck of the Gulls as they try to work that puck out of the corner. Puck back to the point, cycled right back down low. Good smart play there by Henneberry to keep it out of harm's way and potentially getting a shot block and back the other way. Valley Wildcats looking to get back into this game. They'll trail by 3 here with 13 and a half minutes remaining in the third and final period, as Zwickers will pressure that puck as that'll force Trip Greneau to cut back and work it D to D. McLaughlin shot right on. Rogerson holds on, now plays it for Ruse. Ruse will work it up to the short side. Zwicker down the wall. He'll try to cut around the man there as Diebel, as Zwicker one-hands it, trying to get it out front, and good job by McKay to shut that down. Back to the point, Greenwood shot blocked. Far side Zwicker, rebound right onto the stick, bobbled, and cleared out by the Wildcats as this opportunity on the rebound came for Simon Pelham, and that clearing out of the way will be an icing as that went all the way down past Rogerson, and that'll stop play. 12:41 remaining in the third and final period of the Saturday night game here live on High Button Sports. Logan Carruthers here joining you live. Thank you for tuning in on your Saturday night here as the Gulls lead 3-0. Diebel will work it D to D for McKay. Centers, good job holding the line, but only momentarily, as now it'll be worked back. Ferguson trying to go D to D off the skate of Rolls as McKay collects. Works it Diebel, back for McKay. Bentley McKay works it for Ferguson, who turns it over just inside the red line and sent right back in by the Gulls. Douglas will pressure. Diebel up the wall, takes a hit to make the play, but not out. Greenwood holding the line, takes a bump. Rolls, now will work it into the neutral zone. Turned over just inside center. Douglas lost it in his feet as him and Levy trying to work it in, as that'll be McGuire. Gets it in deep and peels off for a change. Rogerson leaves it there for Kennedy, who works it up for Greenwood. Greenwood centers off the skate, and it'll be picked up though and worked up over the line. Zwicker centering. Douglas trying to work it around the defenseman, but can't do so. Turnover back the other way. Ferguson has numbers. Has Rude and Howard with him. Drop pass for Rude. Can't let the shot go as Levy on a great back check. Works it around the wall for Ruse, and now up for Calvert. Can't connect there as it goes off the shin pad and sent back in by Howard. Rogerson out to play it. Good job taking a hit to make the play as it's worked back for Ruse. Now into the neutral zone. Levy trying to work it ahead for Zwicker. Calvert ends up with it. Nice little move around one. Can't get it all the way in, though, as Calvert gets pinched off the wall by Robichaud. Wildcats trying to avoid some pressure. Spinning away. Greneau works it up the wall. Chipping it there. A delayed icing call as that goes all the way down. Dufour will stop that up as he touched it before center. Calvert, short side here, picks it up and spins it back into his own zone, gaining some speed. Calvert dishing it off. Now it's worked up. 3-man up into the yellow line. Here's a chance. Sears with a toe drag. He gets taken down right into the post. Sears trying to get to the middle of the ice there on a toe drag. Gets caught up on the toe drag attempt and slides into the net of Harvey to stop play here with 10:35 remaining on the third period clock. Nice little move there to try to cut through the defenseman, but couldn't break free. Trying to split through. There was the ever so slippery Grayson Sears. He comes into the game. He had 9 goals and 14 assists there. So far on the season, he's got 23 points. Knuckle puck steered away by Harvey into the corner. Good job by Canning, pressuring the puck, stepping up and worked out. Here's a 2-on-1 for the Wildcats, seeing if they can get back in it here. Cross ice pass too far out of the reach and into the corner. The Gulls looking to get it back out. Cannon centers on the backhand, connects with Sears. Over the line, he'll stop up, delay, trying to find backdoor, and what a look, and Cranston couldn't tuck it around, and what a big save there by Harvey, and the net comes off its bearings. I don't know how Grayson Sears saw Cranston backdoor. Cranston received that pass on his forehand, pull into his backhand, but couldn't elevate it over the pad, and making the big save there was Jonah Harvey. What a series of events as Grayson Sears stops up inside the blue line, feeds it backdoor right onto the tape. I don't know how he saw him. It was just more of an area pass for Cranston, who collected it on his forehand and moved it to his backhand, but couldn't elevate it up over the pad. And we remain here 3-0 still for the Gulls. This is work back shot there, Gallant on Rogerson, and that'll be held on to for a whistle. Pretty decent crowd here on hand this evening. A Saturday night matchup here so far. A great one here is a decent little crowd here on hand. More so also down around maybe the next game following this one, as some fans around the bottom of the glass in the Valley Wildcats end. As it'll be worked back to the point. Dished off. Greneau walks it down. Shot goes off the iron, as that one beat the glove hand of goaltender Landon Rogerson, but couldn't beat the iron. Up and out of play, and a face-off's going to stay inside. The captain walking in from the point, letting that shot go. Trip Greneau. A nice hard shot there. Ferguson and Greneau, the two leading point getters here on the ice together for the Wildcats. Ferguson poked off his stick and back into the neutral zone. That'll be collected. McLaughlin working it up and picked off, working it back. Greenwood over the blue line, and he'll dump that in, take a hit for his efforts, and he'll have to retreat back to his D point, where he tries to hold the line and successfully does. He'll have to spin back once again, though, and that'll be back into his D-man's hands. And Paxton Kennedy, as he'll work it up to Calvert, centers, takes a bump, and it'll be picked off and worked back. Gallant, far side, trying to work it up to center. Can't do so. They didn't touch it on the change there. No icing. Greneau, reverse play. Diebel picks it up on the reverse and has his feet moving up north. Centers up and over, turned over. Jollymore off the bench. Reversing, Pelham trying to cut to the middle. Knocked off of his stick and worked up. Here's Howard. Heads up, Howard was looking back for support, and that could have been a big hit. Douglas right off the bench, almost stepping up into Howard. Howard just turning his head up ice in time to set his feet there, and didn't get the worst of it as Noel working it down the far side wall. Jollymore in there, sticking to his feet, goes down, gets the puck back to Hughes over his stick, and now a foot race back the other way. Howard's going to get going. Here's a chance. Rogerson out to play it on his backhand, turns it over, and Rogerson pokes it away. Big hit in the corner. Douglas finished his hit there on Howard. Howard's slow to get up in the corner. Douglas, cross ice pass, and connects. Over, working it in over the line. Puck into the feet of Robichaud, who picks it up. Douglas in there. Douglas having a big shift here with a couple of hits as it's worked back. Rude gets a bump there. Zwicker right off the bench and into the action. Heads up, head down through the neutral zone as heads up. The physicality starting to pick up here in the dying minutes of the period. Inside the last 7.5. McKay turns it over. Calvert and Zwicker in there. Has Levy waiting outside of the pile. 3-on-2 is McLeod, Martin, and McKay in there for the Wildcats, trying to battle it out. Calvert sticking with it into his feet, and that'll be chipped around on the wall by Fowler. Zwicker into his feet, trying to cycle it back down low, but it's chipped back out by the stick of Longren, and it goes back down into the Gulls zone, and another big hit there. Levy slow to get up. Martin now to his feet. The Valley Wildcats have some possession. Shot on, tipped wide. Langren chips it over top of the net, and Calvert centers right onto the stick here. Zwicker on a breakaway. Jack Zwicker, backhand shot head, and on a rebound loose in front. He had to work it to his backhand for a sec there to protect it, and then got the forehand shot away quickly. And a big stop there for Harvey, and that'll stop play. A great job there, breaking away home free. Jack Zwicker read the D and split between them, and a great feed by Calvert to find the man that was up ahead and all alone. Can't beat the goaltender Jonah Harvey. As Zwicker protected on his backhand, and then just at the last second got it to his forehand and let that shot go. Is Sear trying to get that shot on, blocked though by the defender as the Wildcats looking to work it out. Here's Greneau. Trip Greneau gets center and dumps it in. Rogerson out to play it, poked away all over his stick as that'll be battled for now on the end wall. Ferguson in there trying to turn it over, ends up onto the stick of Sears. A high flip into the neutral zone. Greneau gets a stick on it, stays on side. Cranston will stop up, looking across ice, finds Paxton Kennedy. Kennedy, nice little head fake to the middle, work it down low, spinning away from pressure. Kennedy still with it. Now it's turned over and picked up Greneau. Trip Greneau wearing the C will cut to the middle for the Wildcats, trying to let a shot go, and that'll go wide of Rogerson, and in behind, Sears on the far wall, taking a bump from Ferguson and turning it over. Ferguson, shot there, sent wide, running into Rogerson a little bit there as it's worked back by Canning into the neutral zone. Sears will pressure Fowler, working it back for Ferguson across the blue line. Ferguson, toe drag shot there, steered away by Rogerson. Canning turned over at the blue line. Hood shot there, Rude into the corner and off the hand of him as he tries to get that puck back. As Greenwood worked it back for Ruse, back for Canning. Cannon through the neutral zone. Gets center and sends it around on a hard rim. Sears will get to it first and chip it back in and head off for a change. All new forwards out now for the Gulls. Here inside the last 5 minutes of play in the third period. Gulls lead by 3. They look to keep things rolling here for the last 5 or so minutes of action as they try to play down in the Wildcats' end here to finish off this great Saturday night game as Nordine centers. Rebound, McKinnon can't find the back of the net, and a big save there by Harvey. Keeps it 3-0. Wildcats looking to get into this game here, yet to figure out the undefeated Landon Rogerson. To the point, Noel lets a shot go. That goes way off wide. I think he was just trying to get it back in deep as Ruse down low. McKinnon working it back up. He'll cut across the dot over, finding Knoll into the corner. Stepping in from the point, Knoll working it around, stepping up. Ruse keeps it down. He'll cut back up top, working it over here for his D partner, Knoll. Noel centers and almost picked off by Rude as Ruse picks it off. Worked back up to center and sent in. Ruse will take a whack there from Robichaud as he heads off. Diebel up ahead, getting a stick on it was Howard, just ramping it in. He'll peel off for the change. 2-man pressuring the one goal defense and behind now. Here's a chance, 2-on-2. Jollymore picks it up. He'll cut to the middle. Douglas just having to stay on side, but Jollymore losing the handle of the puck as it's worked back into the neutral zone by McKay. And now it'll be picked up. Dufour gets center. High flip off the glass, and Gulls will give chase here once again. Worked up. Longgrain can't collect and get it out. Jollymore and a stick and working it down the wall. Dufour will dump it in off the glass and out of play. Dufour giving a little shot there to Longren after the whistle had gone, and face-off I think is going to stay inside. Yes, they will. So with just under 3 minutes now remaining in the third period, Gulls up by 3. They look to shut down the Wildcats as the faceoff's going to come outside. No, inside. Every faceoff, every puck that goes out of play in the offensive zone stays inside of the offensive zone. Doesn't matter if it goes post, crossbar, off the stick of the goalie, off the stick of the offensive team. Doesn't matter. A new Hockey Canada rule implemented last year, and that's the reason why you're seeing on a dump-in from the defenseman, the puck staying inside. And it'll keep it going here. Dufour will pressure Ferguson. Down low, Ferguson. Back to the point. Greneau shot there. Rolls. Blocked it. Rebound. Still loose, and it looked like it goes under the pad of Rogerson and stays out. As I've still yet to see the puck. But no sign from the official saying it's a goal, and Rogerson looked like he was down and out, keeps that puck out, and the lead intact here. 2:35 now remaining in the third period. Rogerson coming up with his biggest save of the game so far. Face off down low. Ruse takes a bump. He was already down as it's worked back to the point. Cross down Greenwood. Far side point, cycling it down low. Kennedy trying to get to it. Can't do so. Ferguson to it first. Ferguson takes his time. Looking over his options, let a shot go. Blocker save, kind of caught Rogerson maybe a little bit off guard as Ferguson stopped up and just kind of let one go from distance and blockered away. Now as Zwicker turns it over. Zwicker stops up at the ring out line shot there and couldn't get all of it as he was tied up by two Wildcat defenders as Greneau picks up the loose puck and works it off the boards back into the neutral zone where Ferguson will pick it up just inside the Gulls line. He'll work it in on his forehand shot there on a nice move. He worked it on his nice little pull around the defenseman there to his backhand. Calvert toe drag as Ferguson had him lined up, and just sidestepping that was Calvert, as that could have been a big collision. As that puck through the tripod and worked over here for McKay, dumping it in past Rogerson, bouncing off the end wall out for Knowles, who works it in behind his net. With D to D here with 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the third and final period of this Saturday night matchup. As Noel picks that puck up in his own zone, backhanding it around to the wall, as that'll be collected and worked out into the neutral zone. Nice feed by Palom, who works it over Norden. Here's a chance off the skate of McKay. McKay goes into the boards awkwardly. That's going to draw a penalty. And a stoppage of play here with 56 seconds remaining exactly on the clock. A delayed call coming up here. The Valley Wildcats are going to head to the power play on a boarding call, I believe. And heading to the box will be number 16, Magnus Norden. 2 minutes for boarding here with just under a minute remaining. The Wildcats head to their second power play. Morgan Noss having a quick chat with them. Face off going to go to the glove hand side, and a timeout call by the Wildcats as we'll be back for the last 56.8 seconds after this short Valley Wildcat timeout. Thanks for staying tuned in here for this Saturday night matchup between the Valley Wildcats and the Gulls as we get set for the last 56.8 seconds of the game. The Gulls lead by 3. They'll have to kill off the late penalty for boarding charged to Magnus Norden. As here's a chance. Greneau can't get the one-timer away and cleared out by Dufour all the way down. That goes off of Calvert as he'll give light pressure. Net empty for the Wildcats. 6-on-4 as they set up the breakout here within the last minute. Ferguson receives it on his backhand and works it over the line. Calvert on a great back check but can't clear it. McKay, who took the hit is now out there. Ferguson letting one go, and a glove save there. Flashing the leather is Rogerson, and Ferguson let that shot go, and we'll wait to see. It might be a 6-on-3 here now as the ref's going to pull another Gull to the box. Looks like it'll be Henneberry. So Henneberry is going to go to the box. 22 seconds remaining on the clock. 6-on-3 for the six-on-3 here for the last 22 seconds. As we all know what's at stake here. Work back to the point. Greneau working it across for Ferguson. Back to the point, McKay across. Greneau will walk it in, looking for a tip in front, and Martin steers it into the corner. Noel's gonna pin it up on the boards and try to kill off the time. 5 seconds remaining on the clock. A puck will stay there, and that'll do it here for this matchup on the Saturday night. Coming out with the donut and his 6th win on the year, Landon Rogerson, holding his hometown team to 0 goals on the game, and Landon Rogerson improves to 6-0 on the year, and the Gulls come out victorious 3-0 against the visiting Valley Wildcats. Thanks for tuning in here on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers. I'll leave you with the visual of the handshake here, but we'll be back with more action tomorrow as all the games live on High Button Sports. But thank you. That's all for me, folks. We will see you later.